edition of NHRA Today. A look back at the 1991 TRW All-Star Championships, including top alcohol dragsters' top performers, those wild wheel standers of super stock, and the cream of the comp eliminator crop. From National Trail Raceway near Columbus, Ohio, an elite field of sportsman racers square off on this edition of NHRA Today. Every time a pair of cars competes on an NHRA racetrack at a divisional event, whether they are the superstars of the sport or one of the hundreds of hobby racers, they work toward a special goal: to take part in a unique event that pits the best in class from each of the 7 NHRA divisions in head-to-head competition for the honor of being known as a TRW All-Star Champion. Welcome to this special edition of NHRA Today. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Evans. Now, if you really want to get into the mood for this show, find your calendar and run it back a few months to June 8, 1991. It was on this beautiful sunny day that we enjoyed the TRW Sportsman All-Stars competition as part of the Oldsmobile Spring Nationals. Now, you can ask any of these drivers here. There's not enough money in the world to buy your way into TRW competition. You have to earn it. Here's Bob Fry to tell us how that process works.
Well, Steve, if you have to earn your way into the competition, it's a lead pipe cinch. I'll never be a TRW All-Star. Actually, as we stand at the end of the track waiting for the winners to come flying by, the criteria for making the TRW All-Stars is very simple. It's the driver in each eliminator that has picked up the most points in his division over the last 12 months. It's pretty simple. The competition here today ought to be unbelievable.
Well, Bob, unbelievable might not be a strong enough word to describe some of the first-round action, like in top alcohol dragster when Division III's Mike Koski in the far lane met up with Winston champion Blaine Johnson. In a battle of Oldsmobile-powered racers, Koski claimed the upset win and a spot in the Final Four. Now, Superstock always offers close competition. Just ask Monty Cornwall and Jeff Steele. Cornwall, the Division I representative, cut a near-perfect reaction time in the far lane. But as the cars rushed to the finish line, Steele's Corvette, carrying the colors of Division V and fresh off a runner-up placing at the Mid-South Nationals, edged ahead to cross the line with a margin of victory of 0.03 of a second. More close competition was displayed in Super Gas, when Mike Furter in the near lane met up with Vic Singer, the low qualifier from Division I. The former Winston champion from the Northwest staked Singer, a 2-time TRW finalist, to a slight reaction time advantage, but when they reached the finish line less than 10 seconds later, the yellow Pontiac had scored a win in its first ever race. Now, the first round of Super Comp paired up #1 qualifier Pat Waters with defending champion Lawrence Brink from Division V. And at the green light, Waters took a sizable lead in the far lane and seemed headed to another win for Division VI. But as the cars tripped the timers, Pat had gone too quickly and broke out by 0.02 of a second, handing the victory to his rival from Colorado. Thousandths of a second also made the difference in Super Street, when Alan Christensen from Division V faced off against Gene Murray from Division III. Murray took the reaction time honors in the far lane, and the 2 Chevy Novas were side by side for the entire quarter mile, with Christensen emerging victorious with an on-the-money 10/92 elapsed time. We'll have more action from the 7th annual TRW Sportsman All-Stars later in the show. But first, there was a major announcement made earlier this week that all drag racing fans will be interested in.
Castrol presents the GTX Pipeline, the latest news from the world of drag racing.
The crew that works the drive-thru window here at this McDonald's restaurant in Pomona, California, well, they've seen some pretty weird vehicles come through, but nothing to top Ed the Ace McCullough in his brand new McDonald's-sponsored Top Fuel dragster. This was all part of a formal announcement of McDonald's sponsorship of Larry Minor Motorsport, a 2-car team. McCullough and the dragster cruised Pedregon in a funny car. It was very well attended by LA media and NHRA folks. Earlier, I talked to Dallas Gardner about the many facets of the McDonald's involvement.
it is a multifaceted program. And we did a test program at the U.S. Nationals, and what we found out is that, you know, our fans like McDonald's, and they like McDonald's burgers, and McDonald's likes our fans, and it was a very successful test. And I think that's one of the elements that has caused the program to go together. Of course, the race car deal is, I think, the icing on the cake, and I would call this, you know, this is a complete, well-rounded program of involvement. And I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to build this so that there's no escape from McDonald's. They're going to be with us forever.
It's a big step for us. It's something we debated about, but we felt that if we were going to do it, drag racing and the National Hot Rod Association and Larry Minor were the way we really wanted to do it, so we decided that this was the time for us. The timing is right.
I've had lots of sponsors through my years of racing. This is probably the most exciting one. It's, you know, it's McDonald's. I'm an American guy, and you know, McDonald's is American. Drag race is American. When they called me, I tell you, I almost cried when they called me.
So, it looks like the food at several NHRA tracks will be as hot and fast as the action. And Larry Minor and crew are ready to go racing for McDonald's.
NHRA Today is being brought to you by Castrol GTX, the motor oil that provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown.
Welcome back to NHRA Today and the TRW All-Stars. Now, this event offers a great deal of prize money for the racers, but as Bob found out, team bragging rights are equally as important.
The TRW All-Star Championships is actually two distinct races in one. First of all, there's the individual competition in each of the classes. Secondly, there's the overall team competition. Now, last year, Division II won it, but not before they had to go to two different tiebreakers to break the deadlock with the guys from Division IV. This year, with equally tough teams and the defending champs bringing in a talent-loaded squad, the team competition really should be tremendously competitive. What do you think? Do I look like a good guy?
As the second round of eliminations began, things didn't look too rosy for Division II. In top alcohol drag through Dixie Rebel Bill Barney in the near lane had trouble staging, allowing Mike Koski an untroubled drive into the finals, where he would meet Division IV's Tom Conway. The defending team champions did bounce back in top alcohol funny car, as four-time All-Star Terry Mullins in the far lane squared off against Phil Sebring of Division III. Terry had qualified fourth and took an immediate lead in his 1992 Oldsmobile Cutlass, which was making an impressive competition debut at this event.
Terry Mullins has a brand new race car, and representing his division in this TRW showdown, he's got to be feeling pretty good, both for the fact that he's picking up some points for the division and picking up a good head of steam for himself in this brand new race car. It's going well.
Bob, we're tickled to death. This thing's really coming around. Got hot here this afternoon. I was afraid it's going to get us, but car's doing great. This Oldsmobile's fantastic.
If you knew the car'd been like this, you'd have gone out and gotten a new one a long time ago.
I bought one last spring, yeah, really.
Comp Eliminator pitted low qualifier Vinnie Barone in the far lane against Division II's Carly Daniels. This race was settled in an instant as Barone fouled, moving Daniels to the final for the second straight year. Another Division II standout, Jeff Taylor, kept the win streak going for the Southeast team when he met up with Rock Running in a battle of the front-wheel drive conversion Olds Calais. Running, representing Division III, had the benefit of the handicap start, but Taylor, a Winston Superstock champion, posted a better reaction time. And in the always close world of Superstock, that is usually enough to make a difference at the finish line.
Brother Jeff keeps picking up points for these guys from Division II. Boy, the Taylor's murder on these guys.
Yeah, we're going to knock them dead on this. We're going to win this thing 2 years in a row.
Another driver with a Winston title to his name, Division IV's Greg Stanfield, was in the other Superstock Final Four against Jeff Steele. And once again, good luck deserted the good guys, as Stanfield was easily beaten by the Division V Corvette. The rivalry between Division II and IV came head-to-head in Super Comp in a battle between Kurt Damron and Edward Richardson. The cars were side by side to the finish line, with a win going to Division IV when Damron's Roadster broke out.
Be nice to win this thing in the finals, win one for the division.
It'd be great to win this race, especially for the sponsors. TRW, it's excellent that they put something on for the Sportsman racers.
Another Winston champion from Division II, Sherman Adcock, was knocked out of eliminations of Super Gas when Ben Raymond, a first-time TRW All-Star from Colorado, came out on the winning end of a double breakout in the near lane. But despite those defeats of a pair of Division II's heavy hitters, Division IV failed to take advantage. In stock eliminator, Dennis Oliver, a former U.S. Nationals champion in the far lane, was forced to break out under pressure from the 1990 TRW champion and low qualifier, Bob Broadbent. That defeat and a victory for the Dixie Rebels by David Tatum in a head-to-head Super Street contest against Division IV runner Mike Sharp all but guaranteed that the team from the Southeast would be the first to claim back-to-back titles in the 6-year history of the event. Now, that was the action from the early rounds of the 7th annual TRW All-Stars from Columbus, Ohio. And the finals will be coming up when we return. Welcome back. It's time for the final rounds of the TRW All-Star Championships. And kicking things off is Super Street. Division II runner David Tatum out of Palmetto, Georgia, will be up against Rockford, Iowa's Alan Christensen, of course representing Division number 5. Tatum, this is the first time he has competed in All-Star competition, but he can clinch the team title with a win. Christensen won the SST class at the 1990 Heartland Nationals, defeated Robert Turner. All right, here we go. Green lights a pair. The better reaction time goes to Tatum. Typically close Super Street race, but the win light in the near lane. How about this? Tatum, a perfect 10.90 elapsed time. Anything quicker than that, well, it'd have been thrown out. Can't run quicker than 10.90 in this class. A 4-1 reaction time at 10.90 elapsed time spelled success in the near lane for Tatum. Next to warm the tires will be the finalists in Super Gas. A bit quicker here. They run on a 990 index factor. But first, let's go down to the far end. Bob Fry with the Super Street winner.
David Tatum winning it and running right on the money, David, at 10.900.
I tell you, it's been a rough weekend, but we finally found the right combination and had a little luck. We hadn't had any luck this year, but maybe it's coming around now.
Plus, by being the winner here for the Division II, all they needed was one round. You just won your team $10,000.
That's all that much better. That's what we're here to do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It is time for that Super Gas final round. The yellow car in the near lane, driven by Jed Coughlin Jr., second-generation racer out of Division III, Columbus, Ohio, right here. He's up against Ben Raymond from Aurora, Colorado. He races out of Division number 5. Now, Coughlin won Super Gas at the Spring Nationals here at this track in '91. He defeated Mike Furter in the Final Four to get to this point. It was Raymond who defeated Sherman Adcock in the Final Four. A good hole shot by Coughlin. He was more alert to the Christmas tree lights. Raymond trying to make up that difference. Cannot do it. Coughlin, slower elapsed time, but he wins it on reaction time. 9.96 to a 9.95 for the loser, Raymond. In instant replay, you can see what, about 0.04 of a second will do for you when you can get that advantage right off the starting line. Raymond knows you can't give up that kind of time and still win. All right, next up, it will be the final in Super Comp as we continue to pick up the performance pace. But first, let's go down to the far end of the racetrack once again. Bob Fry with the Super Gas winner.
Winning's got to be super sweet when you win the TRW program. Makes you the toughest Super Gas around and win it in front of the home crowd.
Well, it's always nice to win it in front of the home crowd, that's for sure. I experienced that last year. Like I said, there's nothing finer to be a part of the best here and then to finally win it here in front of my hometown crowd.
Now it's time for that Super Comp final round. Lawrence Brink out of Division 5, Brighton, Colorado to be exact, up against Division 4 runner from Fort Worth, Texas, Edmund Richardson. Now these are two very experienced winning drivers. Brink won the 1990 TRW Super Comp Championship, and Richardson won the 1989 Winston Championship. It was Brink getting by Seitz in the Final Four. Kurt Damron fell to Richardson in the Final Four. Richardson in the near lane, Brink in the far lane. A perfect start by both drivers. No advantage there. Near lane, it is Richardson by 1/100 of a second. 8.92 to an 8.93. So Richardson, the Super Comp champ. And now it's time for Stock Eliminator, and drag racing doesn't get any more competitive than in this class. But just quickly, let's go back and have another look at the finish of that Super Comp final. 1/100th of a second. I doubt either driver knew for sure who had won it until they got their time slide. Stock Eliminator final round on the line. Ben Wenzel, Saginaw, Michigan, Division III. He is in tough. He's up against the defending TRW champion in the class, Bob Broadbent from New Hampshire out of Division number 1. Now, Wenzel's index is a little bit quicker, so Broadbent in the near lane will get the advantage off the starting line here in the stock eliminator final, but by less than 1/10 of a second. The better light goes to Broadbent in the near lane, the defending champion. Wenzel trying to make it up mid-course. He was way off the light. Wenzel is ahead. Wenzel across the stripe, but he runs too quick. He breaks out. He knew he got a bad light. He had to run too hard. Bob Broadbent, for the second year in a row, wins it. Look at him celebrate inside that Camaro. He knows he's the two-time champion. All right, back in the staging lanes, Bob Newberry climbs into his powerful alcohol funny car. They'll be up next. Stay with us. We'll be back with more of the TRW All-Stars from Columbus. Welcome back to National Trail Raceway. TRW Sportsman All-Stars competition continues. These are the final rounds, and it is super stock now. Jeff Taylor, Lumberton, North Carolina of Division number 2, up against Jeff Steele, Moline, Illinois from Division 5. Now, Taylor just won the Mid-South Nationals. In fact, he beat Steele there. He's the 81 Winston Stock and 88 Super Stock champion. Steele runner-up to Taylor at the Mid-South Nationals, but won 2 points races in 1990. Steele in the near lane, Taylor over in the far lane. Taylor the favorite on paper. And Taylor wins it, even though both of them broke out, ran under their index. It was Taylor breaking out by the least. So let's have just another look at this one. That is, again, Steele in the near lane, Taylor over on the far side. The driver that breaks out the least wins this one, and that is Jeff Taylor from North Carolina. Now it's time for the competition eliminator final round. Garley Daniels, Grantsboro, North Carolina. He'll represent Division 2. Up against Todd Funderburg from Alexandria, Louisiana for Division 4. This is the biggest race in young Todd's drag racing career. I can guarantee you that. Garley Daniels, the 2-time Winston champion, defending TRW champion. And these two have met before, with Funderburg taking it on the chin from Daniels in the TRW final back in 1990. So this is a rematch of that 1990 final round. Oh, and it's a red light start in the near lane. Garley Daniels has won it. He saw it. You can bet he knows he is the champion. The far lane, Garley Daniels wins competition eliminator. We're seeing racers in a lot of different classes, but one thing they all have in common, they're member burnout for the final round. It'll be Mike Koski up against Tom Conway. But first, let's go down to the far end with Bob Fry.
Ronnie, congratulations to you for making it 2 straight.
Thanks, sir.
You love these little V6s, huh? The car seems to be working pretty well.
Yeah, seems to be. It could be a little bit better, but we've managed to get by today anyway.
Good luck. Congratulations to you, Garley.
Thank you.
We're about to find out who the TRW champ will be among the alcohol dragster racers. Will it be Mike Koski from Cuddy, Pennsylvania, or Tom Conway? Koski is in the near lane. Tom Conway will be over on the far side. Now, Koski won 3 national and 5 WDRS events in 1990, finished second in the Winston Championship. Conway, the 89 Winston champ, he won here last year in the TRW competition, so trying to make it 2 in a row. Near lane is Koski. He had a slight advantage off the mark. Here comes Conway. Conway outpowers him, wins by a clear car length over in the far lane. A 6:15 to a 6:03. 6:03 the winning time. This is worthy of maybe 2 more lugs. You might have seen that just small advantage, maybe 1/100th of a second for Koski off the mark. But it was not to be enough, because coming around him like a freight train is Conway to win the TRW 2 years in a row. Tire burning top alcohol funny cars up next. These are the largest engines in all of drag racing, many of them topping well over the 500 cubic inch mark. It'll be Terry Mullins from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. That, of course, Division 2 down in the Deep South. And he is up against one of his arch rivals out of Division number 1, Schenectady, New York, Mr. Bob Newberry. Now, Mullins has had great success in TRW competition. He's won the event. He's won 3 WDRS races in 1990. And here they go. It is Mullins near lane, Newberry on the far side, and Terry Mullins wins it. Terry Mullins is 6:17 to Newberry 6:18. Tremendous competition. Who was off the mark first? I think you can clearly see that it was Terry Mullins. He really didn't need a big hole shot, though. He had the better performance, as we said, 6:17 to a 6:18. Let's go down to Bob Fry. He's with Terry Mullins.
Terry Mullins, the 1991 TRW Top Alcohol Funny Car champion.
Oh, thank you, Bob. To beat Bob Newberry, you can't go easy. You got to be there. So
You've been right about where your car's been running all weekend long, and he actually slowed a little bit, but you went right wire to wire off the starting line first and never looked back.
Yeah, that consistency is the key to this deal. You know, it's good to be up and down. I've seen a lot of guys run some 04s and 05s, but they've only done it one time. So we're pleased. Howard Moon's done a great job, and this new Oldsmobile's fantastic.
Great individual win and good for the team, too.
Thanks so much, Bob. Appreciate it.
Well, our congratulations to Terry Mullins as well, and of course to all of the TRW All-Star winners today here at National Trail Raceway. For Bob Fry and all of us here at NHRA Today, thanks for watching, and remember, we'll be right here next Sunday on the Nashville Network. We'll see you then.
NHRA Today has been brought to you by Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.